सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां तपोभिः क्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्ष्योऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते. So we are right now in the, I think, 64th shloka. We finished the 64th shloka. We have to start with the 65th shloka. The last one that we did was Brahma Swarupam, right? So Brahma sputam nirupayati drishyate shruyate yadyad brahmano anyat na tad bhavet tatvajnanacha tad brahma satchidanandam advayam. So Brahman is that which is shruyate, drishyate, yat, whatever that we see, whatever that we hear about, each one of those is nothing other than the Brahman. It is a manifestation of the Brahman itself. So tatvajnanatacha tad brahma satchidanandam advayam iti jnayate. Also we understand that only because of tatvajnanam or after tatvajnanam we realize that there is only Brahma, or the person who realizes it, who has the knowledge of tattvam, is the person who becomes Brahman himself, or he realizes that he is the supreme entity. Sarvagam Satchidanandam Jnanachakshur Nirikshate Ajnanachakshur na iksheta bhasvantam bhanum andhavat. So nanu Parabrahma Sarvada Sarvatra Paripurnam Chet. If Parabrahma is everything, it is full and it is present everywhere, then why is it that people are unable to understand it? Katham Sarvada, the same question he has raised it before also. Now as a conclusion part in the last 4 shlokas, he is trying to say that it is only a person who has that jnanam, he is able to understand this Brahman, otherwise he cannot. Even though it is Sarva Jnana Chakshuhu, one who has jnanam as a Chakshu, jnanam, Vedānta Shravanādi Samskrita Antahkarana Sammilita Chaitanyam. Jnanam itself is Chaitanyam, one who has the bodha, one who has the understanding that Brahman is the knowledge. So jnanam eva chakshuhu. Chakshuhu is one who can see that ultimate reality. So chakshuhu need not be this physical eye that we are talking about. We are talking about the sight or the knowledge. So what is that knowledge? Knowledge is the knowledge in Solomon. So knowledge is the understanding that the person who has the understanding that Brahman is the ultimate. So jnana chakshuhu saha, bodha chakshuhu, one who looks at everything through the eyes of the learned, through the eyes of a Vedanti. So saha sarvagam satchidananda atmanam nirikshate. Only such a person is capable of nirikshate, samyak pashyati. He nitaram ikshate. So nir, you can take it as nisheshena. He completely understands the Brahman as sarvagaha, as sarvavyaptaha. He is present everywhere, and as the Satchit Anandam. He is the existence, consciousness and bliss format. We understand only a person who has that jnanam, who is a Vedanti, can understand this kind of a thing. Vedanti, I say, because he says jnanam is Vedānta Shravanādi Samskrita Antahkaranam. The Antahkaranam should be Samskrita. It has to be completely transformed, or we say padapattirkanum in Tamil. Padapatradana, it has to be transformed in the sense that decorated solamato. How do I say that? Samskrita. Refined. It should be refined by Vedanta Shravanam. Shravanadi, Atra Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Because of Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam, your mind, Antahkaranam, should be completely refined, and then it is mixed, or it understands that this is Brahman. Brahman is everything. That sort of a knowledge, whoever has it, he sees the Brahman, who is Sarvaga and Satchidananda. So Jnana Chakshuhu Sarvagam Satchidananda, Satchidatmanam Nirikshate. Nirikshate, nitaram ikshate. So nitaram, completely. Akhilam idam ahamcha brahmaiva. Iti aparokshataya. Aparoksham nama pratyakshataya. As a direct sensory perception, he understands that everything else is Brahman. I am Brahman too. Iti samyak yaha pashyati. Whereas the second line, Ajnana chakshuhu na ikshate. Bhasvantam bhanum andhavat. A sun is always shining, yet a person who doesn't have the faculty of eyes, who is challenged visually, then he is unable to notice the sun. But they say even if you cannot, sometimes that light sensation is there for them. Still, it is not the eye that sees the sun. Just as how a blind person is unable to view the sun even if it is shining really brightly without clouds anything, in the same manner ajnana chakshuhu, one whose eyes is covered because of ignorance, one who has lost his eyes, then that kind of an ignorant person is unable to see the Brahman. Okay, so ajnana chakshuhu, jnana netra rahitaha, bhasvantam prakashamanam bhanum suryam andhavat netrahinavath na ikshate. He is unable to see the Brahman even though it is present everywhere. Sarvagam Satchidanandam Jnana Chakshur Nirikshate Ajnana Chakshur na iksheta. He will not, it's not possible for him to see. Na iksheta. Iksheta is in Vidhiling, right? So, iksheta, iksheyatam, iksheran. So, bhasvantam bhanum andhavat. Suddenly, I don't know. This Vyakaranam is coming in. Utpanna jnananam api nishesha vasana nivrittaye shravanadikameva sada kartavyam ityashayena. So even if it is a person who has the knowledge of the Brahman, still for the vasanas to completely be removed, we have to continuously be at it. Constantly, Shravanadikam Kartavyam Eva Avashya Kartavyam. It is a necessity. So, Shravanadibhir Uddipta Jnanagni Paritapitaha Jiva Sarvamalan Muktaha Swarnavat Dyotate Swayam. So, you take a small piece of gold or doubted gold, let's say. You don't know whether it is gold or not. You slowly try to polish it on one corner. And then you see that it is shining through. Oh, wonderful. Okay, this is gold. Let's start using it to make an ornament. No, we cannot do that. We have to remove all of the impurities and then only it is going to shine through completely. So in the same manner, there can be moments in our practice, in our sadhana, when we are doing Shravanam, Mananam or Nididhyasana, even meditation, there can be times when it is like that small polished portion of the gold. We may experience that bliss. We may experience what that Brahman is at a certain point. Yes. But that doesn't mean that, okay, let's stop. I am done. I am a jnani. I cannot proclaim that at that point of time. We have to continuously keep on using Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam to remove all of the impurities that are there present, like purifying the entire piece of gold. So, Swarnavat, that's what he is trying to say in this. So, Shravanadibihi, by Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasana, the way it has to be done, the Prakriya of Shravanam, the Prakriya of Mananam, Prakriya of Nididhyasana has also been explained by Bhagavad in the earlier shlokas. So, using that process, Uddipta Jnanagni Paritapitaha Jivaha. Jiva, who is Paritapitaha, who is Parishodhitaha, who has been tested using the Jnanagni. So because of Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasana, Jnanagni, the fire of knowledge, has been Uddipta, it has been kindled right now, and the Jiva is being, Tapitaha. He is being what does he use here? Tapitaha? Heated. Okay, fine. Okay. Being heated in the fire of knowledge, which is kindled right now because of Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Jivaha Sarva malat muktaha. He is muktaha, he is released from sarva malat, from all types of malam. Sattvadi guna karya nanavidha vasana rupat muktaha bhavati. Muktas sanna. Swarnavat dyotate, he shines like swarna, like gold. Swayam, so of his own accord, he is released of the malam, or you can, or you should take it as swayameva dyotate. All he has to do is, you only have to remove the impurity. You don't need to do anything special for the gold to shine. The gold will shine of its own accord. Swarnavat swayameva dyotate. In the same manner, the jiva, all he has to do is make efforts to remove the impurities from the mind. He will automatically shine forth as Brahman. There is no extra effort needed to show it. It is like there is a torch which is switched on and you cover it with a blanket. All you need to do is remove the blanket. You don't need another light to show where that light is. Very similarly, here also, all you need to do is just remove the impurities from the gold. The gold is going to shine automatically because it has that shining capability. The same manner, the jiva also, he uses Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasana to ignite the Jnana-agni, and he is being heated by that Jnana-agni. There is one Subhashitam, Yatha Chaturbhik Kanakam Parikshyate, just as how Kanakam, gold, is being examined by 4 types. Nigharshana Chedana Tapatadanaihi. So, Yatha Chaturbhihi Kanakam Parikshyate. Nigharshana, by scraping it on a touchstone. Chedana, you cut the gold and see whether it is gold inside or not. Or you remove that. Tapa, you heat it up. And then Tadana, you heat it with a hammer to see whether it's good gold, which is pliable, what is the purity of the gold. Tatha chaturbhiv purushah parikshyate. Tyagena shilena gunena karmana. So in the same manner, a person is also tested by 4 qualities here. Tyagena shilena gunena karmana. So all you need to do is, you have to remove the impurities there and it automatically shines forth. Okay, so jivaha abhitapitaha paritapitaha, being heated in the fire of knowledge, automatically sarvamalat muktaha, being released from all kinds of impurities, swayameva, on his own accord, out of his own accord, he is going to shine forth like gold. Clear? Okay. I'm not going into too much of the details here. If we want, we can do it if you have an issue. Paunarukti prasanga, he is talking about whether there is a punarukti dosha, whether there is a repetition. It's already been said before. But then the fact that a jiva is released from the malam and he shines of his own accord, for which we need Shravana Manana, the process is given in a very cute nutshell here. So, this way it has not been explained here. And another part which is very important here is mumukshubihi tvam padartha shodhanam eva paunaf punyena kartavyam. So, if he is a mumukshu, if he is a person who wants moksha, then he has to continuously keep on analyzing the tvam padartha. What am I? Who am I? Bhagavan, Ramana, would always come up with Ramana Maharshi, his first question to anybody, his most famous question is, who am I? What is, answer that question, then you will know. So we are constantly thinking, am I my name, or am I a mother, am I a daughter, sister? There are so many labels that we keep putting for ourselves. We have to slowly remove all of those, release the jiva from such labels, and say that, yes, I am free from all of these things, and that I am beyond these confinements of labels. Right? Tough process. Shravanadibhihi uddipta jnanagni paritapitaha jivas sarvamalat muktaha swarnavat dyotate swayam. हृदाकाश उदितः हि आत्मा एवं परिशोधितः प्रत्यगात्मा हृदय आकाश उदित बोध भानुः सन्न सर्वं प्रकाशते. So what happens when the jiva is released from all such impurities? How does the knowledge shine inside him? So hridakashoditaha hi atma bodha bhanuhu tamopahrit sarvavyapi sarvadhari bhati sarvam prakashate. So bodha bhanuhu, the sun of knowledge, Surya, the sun of knowledge, which it has to rise, right? Just as how the sun rises, as it rises, it removes the darkness of the day. It also spreads everywhere and it sustains the world. It gives a clarity to the world. In the same way, bodha, knowledge, also is Brahman himself, right? So that knowledge in the form of the sun, it rises in the Hrid Akasha, Hrid Goha. So there is a Dahara Akasha that we say that is supposed to be on the right side of your rib cage or something. When the left side has Hridayam, there is a right side small space which is supposed to be Dahara Akasha, where the Jnanam occurs, is what they say. So Hrit Akasha Uditaha, just as how the sun rises in the Akasham, in the sky, the same way here there is a space within ourselves where the knowledge in the form of the sun, knowledge sun rises. So Hrit Akasha Uditaha Hrid Antahkaranam Shravanadi Samskritam Tadeva Akashaha Gaganam Tasmin Uditaha. So the Hrit is Antakaranam, and Antakarana has been refined completely because of Shravana Mananadi, and that Antakaranam is now in the form of a Akhandakara Vritti. So that Hrit or Antakaranam is Akasha. So you can take it into a tabular column where Surya Pakshe and Bodha Pakshe. So Hridayam, the Jnanam arises in the Hridayam. And Surya, Bhanu arises in the Akasha. Okay. So, Sarvavyapi, Tamopahrit. I forgot about this. So, this is also is applicable to both Jnanam and Bhanu. So, Tamo Apahrit, Ajnana Nivartakaha. So, it removes Ajnanam, Andhakaram, Nashayan. Tamas can mean both Ajnanam and Andhakara, darkness. So, removing the darkness in the form of ignorance, this knowledge sun rises inside the Hridayakasha, Atma, and that is called Atma. And it is Sarvavyapi. Sarvavyapi Akashavat Sarvajagat Vyapakaha. Just as how space is found everywhere in this world, in the same manner, this Brahman is also found everywhere. Sarvavyapi Akashavat Sarvagataha Iti Shrutehe. This is the Shruti Vakyam that is in support for this. Sarvadhari. Sarvadhari, it is the substratum for everything. It is the substratum, it is the support for everything to illusorily appear on top of it. So Brahman is Sarvadhari. When you think of the mirage, the water is sustained by the mirage. It is nothing but the sand, right? In the same way, Rajju Sarpa Nyayam. When you take the Rajju Sarpa Nyayam, what is the Adharam for the Sarpa? For the serpent, it is the rope which is the Adhara, substratum for the serpent. What is the Adharam for the silver to show? It is the oyster shell or the nacre, we say. So it is the oyster shell that is shiny, and the oyster shell is the true substance, which is the substratum for anything that is illusorily appeared on top of that. So Sarva Dhari, it holds on to everything. It gives satta to something else. So Brahman gives existence to the world. Because of its existence, we see the world's existence. Is that clear? So, Swamatrena Sarvam Dharati iti Sarvadhari Bibharti. It bears everything. Brahman bears everything. Sarvam Prakash and Sarvadhari Bhati Hrit. So, Evam Atma, this Jiva, Hrid Akasha Uditaha, having arisen inside the Antakaranam, inside the heart, the space of the heart, tamopahrit, it removes the ajnanam, and bhati prakashate, it shines forth. Sarvam prakashate, it also makes other things shine. We see existence, we see the body because of the chaitanyam that is present within ourselves. So it not only is the substratum for everything, it also shows us everything else. Okay. So hridakashoditaha hi atma bodha bhanus tamopahrit sarvavyapi sarvadhari bhati sarvam prakashate. He has a big Vyakhyanam for this. He goes into different examples. I'm only going to go over one particular line here, which explains this upamanam really well, which explains this simile very well. So, Akasha uditaha suryaha yatha nishandhakara nashana purvakam Purushatvadi Brahmam Sakaryam Nishesham Nashayitva Stanvadikam Eva Iti Yathartameva Prakashayati. So this is your Upamana Paksham. The example. What is the example? Akasha Uditaha Suryaha. The sun rises in the sky. And what does it do? Nisha Andhakara Nashana Purvakam. It first removes the darkness which is of the night. So it removes the darkness that belongs to the night. And then, along with that, it also removes, Nashayitva, it further removes completely Purushatvadi Brahmam Sakaryam. We see a pillar and we think it is a robber there. So that kind of an illusion also it removes. How is that possible? It is only possible because of the darkness of night. The moment the sun rises, it not only removes the darkness associated with night, it also removes the different kinds of illusions that are existing because of the night. Oh, there is a demon there, there is a monster here. All kinds of illusions that we have is removed by the sun. Sthanvadikam eva iti yathartameva prakashayati. It not only removes the source ignorance, it also removes the karyam of illusion, the effect of illusion, and it also shows the true nature of the object. There are three things that is done when knowledge comes in. Knowledge not only removes the basic ajnanam, basic ignorance that we have certain reactions based on that ignorance that we have. It also removes the reactions based on the ignorance. The third part is, knowledge also shows us the true nature of the object in front of us. This is applicable practically also in life. Many misconceptions happen towards people, towards objects, because we don't know. Half the time, we fail to acknowledge the ignorance. Hence, we react. So the moment we acknowledge the ignorance, we will start working towards removing that ignorance. So and then someone has to come and guide us with the knowledge, true knowledge of the true knowledge about the object. Then these three steps happen because of that knowledge. One is removal of ignorance. Next is removal of reactions based on that ignorance, or the illusions based on that ignorance. And third is understanding the true nature. So, yatharthameva prakashayati, tatha, in the same manner, hridaya akasha uditaha jnana suryaha. The knowledge that arises in the hridayam, in the mind, ajnana nashana purvakam, it first removes the basic ignorance. Jivatmatvadi brahmam sakaryam nishesham nashayitva. It also completely removes the effect of that ajnanam in the form of aham jivan, the dehaha eva jivaha, pranaha eva jivaha, or chakshuhu eva jivaha, ityadi brahmam. This kind of an illusory knowledge about the nature of jiva is also removed. And what do we understand? Sarvam idam aham cha brahma iti yatharthameva prakashayati iti bhavaha. So it is capable of also giving us the true knowledge about the jiva, which is Brahman. There is nothing other than the Brahman. Not clear? This is, I like the way he had presented this as an explanation for this shloka. Hridakashodito hyatma bodha bhanuhu tamopahrit sarvavyapi sarvadhari bhati sarvam prakashate. So the next one is, I think, the final shloka of this session, of this text. Digdesha kala dhyanapekshya sarvagam shitadihrid nitya sukham niranjanam yaswatma tirtham bhajate vinishkriyaha sasarvavit sarvagato amrito bhavet. So digdesha kaladi anapekshya, without considering none of the parichinna, saha shuddhatma iti uktam. So then after many births and rebirths, he realizes, because of that birth and rebirth, and then continuously contemplating upon the Vedantic texts and teachings and Upanishads, slowly the mind becomes refined over several births, and when it starts getting refined, he understands that he is Brahman. Saha sarvavit sarvagataha amritaha bhavet. He becomes the Brahman. So yaha vinishkriyaha bhutva. I'm going to go by, okay, again for this also he goes over too much of Vyakhyanam, and I think because these are the last two shlokas, he wants to give a lot of information for us. We can go over just the nutshell here. Digdesha kaladi anapekshya sarvagam shitadi hrit nitya sukham niranjanam. So this Atma is such that yaha vinishkriyaha sanna, a person who remains without any action. Without any action is not just physical action but also mental action. Chitta vritti nirodhaha we say. So when you become yoga yuktaha syat, the moment you get into the path of yoga, you stop all of your outside activities, physical activities and your mental activities, and you become without any kriya. Vinishkriyaha. Yaha. So one who is without any of these actions, what happens to him? Saha swatma tirtham bhajate. He realizes, or he gets, bhajate, he attains. Swatma tirtham, he attains the final tirtham. Tirtham is like a sacred place of Atmaswarupa. So he attains the sacred place of Atmaswarupa. And dik desha kaladi anapekshya, dik parichinnam, desha parichedaha, kala parichedaha. These are the three parichedas that someone can have. So dik desha paricheda is desha paricheda, kala paricheda. Dik is the same as desha paricheda. Usually we don't take it as separate here. It is taken as one itself. So dik deshadi kala parichena. So there is no limitations of direction, there is no limitation of space, no limitation of time. Anapekshya, without any considering the directions or time or space, what he does is, he attains the sarvagaha, he attains the object, the Atman, which is present everywhere. Sarvagam bhajate. Shitadi hrit nitya sukham niranjanam bhajate. He also attains a eternal happiness which is not removed by cold. The shitadi hrit nitya sukham. Hold on. 1 minute. Where is the explanation for this? Digdesha kaladi anapekshya, without dik is prachyadi dik vyavaharaha, deshaha kashyadi desha vyavaharaha, kalaha atita vyavaharaha. So you don't consider past, present, future, you don't consider east, west, north, south, nor do you consider specific Kashyam tu maranat muktihi ityadi. You know, there is a statement that you go and die in Kashi, you will get mukti. None of that will work. The moment you have jnanam, you can sit in your own home, wherever you are, and attain mukti. It is not confined by desha kalam. Okay. Ityadi. Then Shitadi Hrit, Shita Ushnadi Dukkha Hari, Adhyatmika Tapatraya Nivartakam Nitya Sukham. It is an eternal Sukham which is capable of removing the dilemma, the differences in this world that we experience with our physical body or our mental framework. So the differences that we see in this world in the form of Shita Ushna, so Sukha Dukkha, all of these things are removed by this eternal bliss of Brahman. Niranjanam, it does not attach itself to anything. So there is no malam in it. So there is no ignorance, there is no sattva rajas tamo atmakam. Maya does not even connect with this Brahman. Tadrisha swatma eva tirtham. Tirtham nama samsara sagara tarana upaya bhutam. Tirtham is usually a sacred place. So this Swatma or Brahman is the Tirtham or the sacred place which he attains. Bhajate, samashrayate. He goes and takes refuge in that Brahman. Whoever remains without any action. So let's go back to the shloka here. So yaha nishkriyaha sanna, the one who remains without any action, attains dikdesha kaladi anapekshya, without considering. It doesn't matter whether he is facing east or facing north and doing this tapas. It doesn't matter. Or he is in Kashi or Tiruvannamalai. No worries. Or is it after, no, today is not a good day. Today is Tuesday. It is not a good day for getting moksha. Nothing of that sort. Anapekshya. Without considering any of these three factors, he attains bhajate, he attains sarvagam, the Brahman which is present everywhere, and he also attains a sukham which is Shitadi Hrit. So Shitadi Hrit Nitya Sukham. Niranjanam, something which does not get attached to Maya. Swatma Tirtham, which is also the most sacred place in the form of Swa Atma. One's own Atma, one's own self is the sacred place. He attains that sacred place. Okay, he takes refuge in that. This kind of a person, Saha. So Yat Padam is over with that. Now we have to go to the Tat Padam. Saha, that person is Sarvavit. He is the most knowledgeable person. He understands everything. Sarvagataha, he also becomes Sarvavyapi. He becomes the Brahman itself. And Amritaha Bhavet, he also becomes the eternal Brahman. Okay. Digdesha Kala Dhyanapekshya Sarvagam Shitadihrin Nitya Sukham Niranjanam Yaswatma Tirtham Bhajate Vinishkriyaha Sasarvavit Sarvagato Amrito Bhavet. This is in a different meter because he is finishing the text here. So till now we saw Anushtub meter, and this is in, I think, Upajati. I'm just checking if he has mentioned that. He hasn't mentioned that. That's fine. So with this, the text is over. Our practice should start.